Hello, Gemini Rising, and welcome to your February 2023 quick forecast. I'm going to bring up 4 or 5 little interesting things about this month and how they will affect you. If you don't know your rising sign and you found yourself here, you can use a chart calculator online or through an app, or I'll leave a link down below. You can send me a message and I'll send you your chart for free so you know your rising sign. So Gemini Rising, let's get right to it. Interesting thing here is Sunday on February 5th, there's a full moon that happens in the sign of Leo, and it's an intense one and for everybody. But in your case, it happens in the place of the chart that deals with how you interact with your immediate surroundings. Some of this has to do with interacting with siblings, but how you engage and interact with your immediate surroundings. And in a sense, how you're using your mind and communicating around you within the home, outside of the home, on your little neighborhood walks. But in a sense, how we do that and how you do that, Gemini Rising, and what you do with that mercurial mind that you have of how you process things, that's where this full moon in Leo is happening. And the Leo full moon wants to show itself creatively with confidence and with the healthy ego and will. And so it's an intense energy that's happening in that area of your chart. But we can't forget here, this full moon in Leo also has another intense player, and it's Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This shocking, out of the blue, unpredictable planet whose goal in use is to uproot things that need to change and bring in something new affects this new moon. I'm telling you, watch the speech and watch the words this weekend, because there's a surprise or two. This could be a way of a surprising idea that happens, and I'll mention something else later in this video that can help you with that. But I just want to let you know this intense full moon has to do with the place in your chart, the third house they call it, that deals with your immediate surroundings, in a sense, in your interaction around and in there. So when we get to February 11th, is kind of a thing that's connected to what this full moon that happens on the 5th. And it's the planet Mercury, which rules you, Gemini Rising, is going to enter the sign of Aquarius. And this is a great thing for you, because there's a lot been going on for you, Gemini Risings, because since last August, you've had the planet Mars in Gemini there and played its retrograde game, and it just recently stopped going retrograde. Now Mars is moving forward in the area of what they call your first house. How you go into the world, engage in the world. Now, Mercury in Aquarius is actually happening in the place they call the ninth house, that deals with foreign travel, where you go learn things, where you philosophize about things. It has to do with faith and religion at times, higher end studies, where you go to exchange truth and how you do it. So Mercury in Aquarius will do it in a more experimental, scientific, progressive way of thinking of new ideas, new ways of looking at things, an alternative way, and detaching emotionally too through the thought process. And Mercury, your planetary ruler in Gemini, you always vibe with Aquarius stuff. Gemini and Aquarius speak a secret language to each other. So you can see how your speech and what's happening up here is going to come into play in many different aspects. But most importantly, this is a good study period, a good study time. You want to take a course, you're looking for a mentor to engage with, you want to bring in the different types of truths to study, and maybe you buy a plane ticket to go do this and catch some things in the world to bring in something new to incorporate with your highest truth. So when we get to the 18th into the 19th there, the sun is going to enter the sign of Pisces. That's when the Pisces birthday starts. And then it's like the next day, basically, we have the new moon happen in the sign of Pisces. This is going to happen in the part of your chart that deals with your career, your public status, how people see you, what's on your metaphorical business card. It even deals with fame sometimes. And there, this new moon lunation is going to happen in Pisces there. And here is a creative sign, a water emotional sign. So this lunation has a tinge of that, and you can use it in a creative way of interacting with colleagues, or if there's an idea that you want to implement with that Mercury I mentioned earlier, but implement it through different creative avenues. You could do that through your career. Also, I will say that this is connected to a transit that happened last year with Jupiter and Pisces was going through a bit, predominantly most of the year last year in your career house. So there's something there that's connected to this new moon lunation. Make peace at work too. You could do it here with this one. Like you can find a way to integrate and to permeate in with using creativity and using that to integrate with your colleagues or those ideas that you have for your career mindset. So then we get into one of the last things here, and it has to do around February 20th, 21st. This is right after the new moon in Aries, is the planet Venus is going to leave the sign of Pisces, leave that 10th house career thing that I was talking about, and go into the sign of Aries, which has to do with the place that deals with community and friendships and how your hopes and wishes that you come up with integrate and apply with friends and community. Sometimes it's just simple of like finding a new group of people, but in this case with Venus and Aries, Venus is an Aries of wanting to show itself and its will in there. So there might be a little bit of a spark that happens in that part of your world dealing with friend groups and wanting to show yourself a little bit more and show that quickness. And since Mars is in Gemini in your first house of rising sign, Mars rules Aries. This is important. I don't think you'll be able to hold back. You Gemini risings have had to hold back a little bit and learn some lessons of how you integrate and communicate the last so many months. So here, you basically are going to put some of the things I mentioned earlier in the video into play. So that's what's happening for you Gemini risings for February 2023. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.